Hey guys, it's Liz of Consume My Books, and here's a look at what I plan on reading during the month of December. I have way more books here than I'm actually going to get through. I basically picked a few things off of my review pile, a few other things, and then just books that I'm hoping to get read by the end of 2012. I have read 105 books so far this year, which is awesome because I'm 5 books ahead of my goal, which was 100. I'm wondering if maybe I can get to 125, but that would be a really big stretch. So probably not, but we'll see. Anyways, let's talk about the books. I am currently reading The Archived by Victoria Schwab. This is about a place where the dead rest on shelves like books. I would tell you more about it, but I'm only 60 pages in myself right now. It's really great so far, though. I love Schwab's writing, and the world building is fantastic, so I'll definitely be finishing this soon. And I'm also currently reading Watchmen by Alan Moore. I picked this one up because it won Misty's Stack of 5 for the month of November, and I'd been wanting to read it for a while, so I decided to join her. I'm only 4 chapters in, but it is good so far. Now, this next title is going to be my next read because the movie's coming out, and I'm just due for a reread, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I think this one is going to be a fast read for me because I love this book, so I'm eager to dive into it and tell you all about it. And next up, I am going to read The Stupidest Angel, A Heartwarming Tale of Christmas Terror. This is by Christmas Moore. Every year around the holidays, I fit in a Christmas-themed book, and this is my pick for this year. I've actually had it on my shelves for a while now, but in the past 2 years, Dash and Lily's Book of Dares and Let It Snow have taken precedence, so this one is up next. And next up, we are going to be reading, well not we, you are all welcome to join me if you would like, my Stack of 5 pick. That is Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness. Apparently you all want me to sob like a baby because I know this is going to be a heart-wrenching book because everything that Patrick Ness writes is heart-wrenching, yet totally fabulous. So I will be sobbing my eyes out while talking about how good this book is, and it'll be fantastic. Kind of, except for the sobbing part. Next up, Dale and the Painted People by Alan Richard Schickman. These are nice quick reads. This is the 3rd book in a series. I'm not sure. The 3rd book of the Zanga series. This will be a really fast read, and I'm eager to see how things wind up. So, looking forward to diving into that. Next up, I really need to read the fairy tale retelling books by Jackson Pierce. So I'm going to start with Sisters Red. Sweetly and Fathomless have been on my review pile forever, so I'm going to finally, hopefully, read this and move on to those. I read Purity by Jackson Pierce, and I didn't love it. It was fine, but I was expecting more given the summary and how much it had been talked about. So we'll see how this is. Yeah, I don't know. Next up, Pure by Juliana Baggett. This is a dystopian novel. I mentioned this in my November TBR. Again, didn't get to it because things got busy, but I did get an e-galley of the 2nd book, so I'll definitely be reading this soon. I hope it's good. Next up, Friends with Boys by Faith Erin Hicks. Again, this was in my November TBR, and it's been calling to me. I really want to read it, so I'm going to make time for it this month. Alright, and I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is the 1st book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I do have an ARC of Scarlet. That releases in February, so I'm going to read this one in December and then have reviews of both of them up around the time of Scarlet's release. I also picked out Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. This is A.S. King's latest novel. Her novel Please Ignore Vera Dietz won the Prince Honor. Everyone's been saying how good and fast-paced this one is, and I just haven't read any A.S. King yet, so I'm hoping to finally fit this one in and just get into her books in general. Next up, I've got The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is set in the 1930s, and everyone's been saying how good it is, and Misty actually said that it's a great book for cold winter nights, because I don't remember what her reasoning was, but I'll believe her. And it has been cold here, and it's been calling to me, but I haven't gotten to it. So I'm hoping in December I will read The Diviners. And I also picked up Storm Dancer by Jay Kristoff. This was an unexpected review copy, and it's already out, so I'd like to get to it already. Yeah, and you know, it's got the awesome Patrick Rothfuss blurb and beautiful cover. So hopefully I will get to this one and like it. These next 3 books I'm doing because there is going to be a read-along that's just kind of done by some bloggers. It's going to be relatively informal. When I have more info on it, I'll post that down below. But some people decided to read Graceling by Kristen Kishore. Now, for a lot of people doing the read-along, this is actually a reread, but I've never read this series before, and I've heard it's good. So, I'm looking forward to finally diving into this because it has awesome reviews. And I'll also be reading the sequels. Those are Fire and Bitter Blue, obviously also by Kristen Kishore. Next up, I have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. I did read a chapter of this in October, and I liked it, and it reminded me of Paranormalcy by Kirsten White, which I enjoyed. So I'm hoping to finally get all the way through this one. This is probably the type of book that I can read in a sitting or two. I'm also hoping to get to The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. My grandmother picked this one up when she was visiting for Thanksgiving and read like 40 pages of it. She really liked it, but didn't want to borrow it because she's busy. But she did ask me to read it and tell her how it ended, so I got to do that. This is one that's been out since 2011, and I've heard great things, so I want to finally get to it. The Art of Fielding by Chad Harback. John Green has given this great praise, and so has one of my good friends, so hopefully I get to it this month. And then this last stack is just kind of things I really should get to before 2012 ends. Hopefully we'll see. Soulless by Gail Carriger. This has been on my TBR for a while, and I just haven't gotten to it. It's time to finally read it because it sounds like an amazing series. I think it's kind of steampunk with a little bit of steaminess mixed in. We'll see. This next book I bought because Misty over at the Book Riot has been raving about it, so if I hate it, then I'm blaming her. But that is Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning. Yeah, I'd just like to try this one and see how it is. Next up, I have Lyriel by Garth Nix. This would actually be a reread. I had to reread Sabriel for a class in graduate school, but that was good because I hadn't read it forever and I was reminded of how good it is. And I want to reread Lyriel. These are really good books for winter because they've got kind of wintry settings, or at least Sabriel did. So I'm hoping to get to this one. Next up, I am hoping to finally read Austenland. This is by Shannon Hale. Never read anything by Shannon Hale, but I love Jane Austen, so this would be the perfect place to start. And also there's going to be a movie of it soon. My next pick is Uncommon Criminals. This is by Allie Carter. The 3rd book in this series, Perfect Scoundrels, comes out in February. The 1st book is High Society. Really fun. I highly recommend these if you haven't gotten to them yet. I am hoping to finally get to this one, so I'll be ready for Perfect Scoundrels. And my last 2 books are library books, so it's not a huge deal if I don't get to them because I can always renew them or request them again. But they are Cirque du Freak by Darren Shan and Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, which I've heard good things about but haven't actually read. So that's everything that I would ideally like to read in December. Admittedly, I'll probably only get to a small handful of that, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. Tell me which ones you think that I really need to read right away, because I would love your opinions. Anyways, thanks for watching. If I don't make another video, I hope you guys have a really wonderful holiday season. Eat lots of cookies, drink lots of eggnog or whatever you enjoy at this time of year, apple cider, hot chocolate, tea. And I will talk to you all later. Happy reading. Bye.